Hello, my friends, and welcome to Yoga by the Moon. My name is Michelle, and I'm here to guide you through a last quarter moon practice for the last quarter moon for June 8th of 2026. Last quarter moons are the culmination of the lunar cycle, and so we are ending the lunar cycle. And in these ending phases, we find final release. We let go of things that are no longer in alignment. We create space for the coming newness of the new moon phase, which will be next. This particular last quarter moon takes place in the sign of Pisces, and Pisces is a very spiritual, very dreamy water sign, very in touch with their emotions, very in tune to their dreams, very in tune to the spiritual world. So Pisces asks us to connect deep to our emotions in order to experience that full final release for this last quarter moon. We really feel through our feelings. We connect to the oneness that is our spirituality, no matter what spiritual practice you may have or believe in, whether it's Christianity, whether it's, paganism, anything in between. Even if you don't necessarily feel fully spiritual, just connect to that greater than self nature within yourself with Pisces. And that will help you really tune into what is in alignment and allow you to let go of what is not. We are also still in Gemini season, and Gemini is a very curious and intellectual air sign. And so in order to do this deep release that the last quarter moon asks of us, we really need to clear out that mental clutter. And Gemini helps us do that because Gemini allows us to access all of our intellectual thoughts, and we can organize our intellectual thoughts and release limiting beliefs, limiting ideas, inhibitory behaviors and patterns, and really connect to our true version of ourselves before we come back to a new lunar cycle with the new moon. So all of these things are happening. So this is a very, very deeply spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, mentally, just fully releasing last quarter moon. So we're going to really just connect deep. We're going to hold postures for a little longer today, just to really tune in to ourselves in every possible way and clear away space to make room for newness and to really tap into alignment with ourselves today with this last quarter moon. So if you'll join me in seated position on the mat, we'll begin our breath work that way. You can just find any old comfortable seat, whether it's cross legs or, legs out in front of you. If you want to sit up on a block or a pillow or a bolster just to make yourself more comfortable. Today is all about finding your center, finding yourself, finding what feels good to you so that we can really connect to what's in alignment and release what's not today. So to find your most comfortable seat, whatever that looks like or feels like, or however that resonates for you, or wherever that lands, and arrive in this space. Our breath work that we're going to do today is known as Brahmari breathing, and in Sanskrit that translates to bumblebee breath, and it gets its name because it kind of sounds like the humming of a bumblebee. And this breath is very, very mentally and emotionally clearing. It allows us to really release through heavy feelings and thoughts, and it allows us to clear that space, allow us to feel lighter, allow us to feel calmer, allows us release. And so I thought it was a great breathwork practice to do for this particular last quarter moon phase today. In order to do it, you're going to take your pointer finger and your middle finger, and you're just going to place them on the inner part of your ear to kind of plug your ear so you don't hear outward noise as much. You can really hear inside your own voice, your own noise inside your own head a little bit more as you do this. And where you're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, and keeping your mouth closed on the out breath, you're going to just kind of hum. long exhales. You might even feel that vibration in your lips. And I'm just going to let go of my ears just for a minute to explain what this does. It kind of sounds like the humming of a bee, but that vibration really allows you to tune into your inner vibration, what really is resonating with who you are, to tap into that alignment as we release things that are not. So we will do 4 rounds of that breath work together. I just demonstrated the first round, so just take your fingers to your ears, take a deep breath in through the nose, and hum on the exhale. Deep breath in. Hum it out. Deep breath in. Hum it out. Last in-breath. Last hum. Gently release your hands. Maybe bring them to the tops of your knees. Maybe fix your shirt if it's falling down. Notice how you feel. If your eyes were closed or you had a soft gaze, gently flutter them open and arrive in your space so that we can begin our movement practice. Now, if you're sitting up on a block or a bolster or something, you may want to remove that and sit with your sit bones connected to the earth or your mat or the floor, wherever you are. And we're going to begin with our left shin parallel in front of us, like we're going to sit cross-legged. So our left leg is going to be bent in front of us with our shin parallel right in front of us. And then we're going to take our right shin, stack our foot on top of the left knee, and our shin, our right shin, parallel on top of our left shin. And now you may notice I have quite a bit of space between my right knee and my left foot. You may have more space, you may have less space, but this is known as fire log. So we are kind of stacking logs, as it were, with our shins. And it is a very deep release for our outer hips. We store a lot of emotions in our hips. And when we release through our hips, we can really release those trapped emotions that we've stored in there. And so this is an intense hip release. So you're gonna want to go gentle into this. So if you have a lot of space here, take it very easy. Take it very easy regardless, but if you have a lot of space here like I do, that just means you happen to have a lot of tightness in your hips right now. And from moment to moment, from day to day, that will change. But we're going to take it slow as we release through those hips. Just keep sitting tall, chest towards the ceiling, pulling towards the ceiling, shoulders back and down. And now in traditional fire log, in old Hindu yogi postures, in ideal postures, which I don't subscribe to ideal posture whatsoever. I think that everybody is ideal in their own body and in their own self and their own embodied practice. But in what looks like a quote unquote perfect yoga pose, your right knee would be all the way down to your left foot as your right foot is sitting on top of your left knee. That doesn't happen for 99.99999% of us, and most of us are going to have quite a bit of space between our knee and our foot, and that is perfectly fine, and there is no need to even try to get it any closer. If you feel called to try to get it closer, you can take your hands on top of your right shin. Again, keeping that chest lifted. Just very slowly, very subtly trying to fold forward. You may notice your knee get closer to your foot. You may not. You may notice more tightness in your hips. And if it feels like too much, you can always back off. But again, this is a very intense posture, very deep releasing posture. And I caution you from going too far into it. You don't want to hurt yourself. I don't want to see anybody hurt. I don't want anybody to do too much. That's not the point. My practice is never about doing too much. It's never about go hard or go home. It's about finding ease and finding yourself, finding alignment, tuning into yourself. And so hear yourself. If this is too much and you want to just sit in a comfortable cross-legged seat with your right leg on top of the left for now, that's fine too. But if you're here with me in fire log, maybe pull a little closer. I notice that intensity, that fire. We'll take one more deep breath in. One more deep breath out to release anything else. If you were folded forward at all, come on up. Slowly, carefully remove that right foot and plant the sole of your foot in front of you. Take that left foot next to it so that your knees are pointed up towards the ceiling. Maybe tent your hands behind you and prop yourself up as you gently windshield wiper through those hips and those legs. Resetting, releasing any extraneous tension that may have arisen as a result of that intense posture before we switch to the other side. I will say that this is the most intense work we're doing in the entire practice. We're just starting right off with intensity, and then everything else is going to just be gentle. So be gentle with yourself, even in this intense posture. And find alignment. And again, if just sitting cross-legged is right for you, by all means do it. Now we're going to start with our right leg on the bottom. And once again, if you want to just cross with your left leg on top now and switch the crossing of your leg to sit that way, you may. Or you may stack your left foot on top of your right knee, doing fire log on the other side, left leg on top of the right this time. Now one side you may notice that the knee is much higher than the other or not. We tend to not have balances in our hips, and that's very common, very normal. We tend to kind of lean on one side or favor one leg over the other, favor one side over the other. Everybody has a dominant side, right? So part of the reason that we do both sides individually like this is to create balance. When we find balance, we can more easily find alignment. And I don't mean physical alignment. I mean that emotional, spiritual, tuning into yourself alignment that I always talk about. Remember, keep that chest nice and lifted. If you want to deepen that hip stretch, you may crawl those fingers forward as you lift that chest, or gently start to fold over those legs. Again, if what feels right to you is to keep a comfortable cross-legged seat instead of stacking those shins, by all means do it. For me, this side is more open than the other one, so I'm able to go a little bit deeper before I feel the need to stay. If you elongate those exhales, that helps you release further, calling into the energy of the last quarter moon, creating that spiritual, emotional space that Pisces asks of us. surrendering to the path of the universe in this deep releasing moon phase, creating space for the newness to come. One more deep breath in. Long exhale out. If you're folded forward, gently crawl back up. And after you get all the way up, carefully, ever so carefully and slowly move that left leg off the top of the right, planting the sole of the left foot, and then gently plant the sole of the right foot in front of you. Bring those hands behind, and once again, windshield wiper those legs. Creating space, balance, release. One more each way. And then once again, find yourself in a comfortable seat. Bring those shoulder blades back and down. Chest lifted. Now we're going to kind of zombie our arms in front of us, sort of thriller style. And then we're going to take our right elbow underneath our left, kind of crossing them over now. And then you're going to bring the backs of your hands together. Now maybe this is comfortable enough for you, or tight, your shoulders feel tight enough, or maybe you wish to wind your right hand towards your nose and then bring that right palm to the left. This is eagle arms, so this is half of eagle posture. It's a nice release in the back of your shoulders and across the tops of those shoulders. And if this is enough, you can stay here, or you can inhale, lifting those elbows towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing those elbows towards your chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one this side. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale back to center and exhale, unwind. Open those arms up to open the chest towards the sky. And then exhale, bring those hands back to zombie arms in front of you. This time you're going to bring the left elbow underneath the right, and then bend those elbows so that the backs of your hands touch. Once again, you may wish to bring that left hand towards your nose, and then slide that left palm back to meet the right so that your arms twist around once again. If keeping the back of your hands together feels right to you, you're perfectly welcome to stay there. But if you want to do the double bind, you can wrap those palms and clasp those palms together. If you want to just stay here and that's good enough for a shoulder stretch for you, you're welcome to. Or you can inhale, lifting those elbows to the sky. Exhale, bring your elbows down to your chest. 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, last time up. Exhale, last time down. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, open your arms up as you open your chest towards the ceiling. And bring your hands back to the palm. Bring your palms back to your knees. And then, whenever you're ready, make your way to hands and knees. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders, nice flat back, neutral neck, tabletop position. This is an active posture. You can press into those fingertips and into your shins and knees as you engage your core to keep your spine long and that neck neutral. Holding tabletop one more moment. Then inhale, bring that belly towards the mat as you look towards the ceiling. Exhale, rounding through that spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, lifting it to the sky as you look towards the floor. Cat and cow, articulating through that spine, releasing in the spine. So many of us have back pain, or we hold a lot of tension in our shoulders or upper back or even our lower back. And in doing this, you can even find your own rhythm. Maybe you want to kind of do some undulation. Find what feels right to you, what speaks to you, what calls to you here in cat and cow, and just find release in your spine. Letting go of tension, letting go of stagnant energy, releasing things that do not serve you. One more inhale and exhale wherever you are. And then we will all meet back in neutral tabletop. Walk those hands forward. And keep walking them forward, crawling your elbows down to meet the floor and bringing your chest towards the floor. Maybe you even want to bring your chin onto the mat. Melting heart pose, puppy pose, stretching through our chest, our abdomen, our shoulders, and our lower back in an ultimate posture of surrender and release. Bowing to the power of the universe and its plans for us, to ask of it to help us, guide us towards our own inner alignment. Elongate those exhales to further that release. Tune into yourself. Connect to yourself. One more breath in. And on the exhale, slowly make your way back to hands and knees. Keep those hands slightly in front of you. Curl those toes under. Inhale deeply. And then exhale, slowly lift those hips towards the ceiling as you bring those heels towards the floor. In downward dog position. Generously bend through that right knee as you straighten through that left leg. And then switch, straightening through that right leg and bending into that left generously. Keep pedaling those heels, releasing through the backs of the legs now. Still bowing to the universe in this posture. Finding our alignment within and without. When you're ready, find stillness in your downward dog. Inhale that right foot to the sky and exhale as many steps as you need to get there. Bring that right foot between your hands. We're going to take our left heel and spin it towards the back right corner of the mat and plant the sole of that foot on the mat. Bending generously into that right knee now as you rise on up. Right arm comes forward, left arm back. Opening through that chest, turning our hips and our chest towards that left side wall in Warrior Two. Quarter moons are always kind of in between phases, and this posture really emulates that because we have everything that's coming for us and everything that we have to look forward to, all that newness to come and all of that energy that's behind us, everything that's happened is behind us that way. And here we are in the middle of it all, tuning into ourselves. One more breath here, holding in this Warrior Two. And then we're gonna bring our hands clasped together behind us at our tailbone. And then you're gonna pull that fist towards the floor, opening through your chest. Inhale deeply as you lift that chest up. And exhale, keeping those hands behind your back. Bow to the inner left part of our right thigh. Humble warrior. Surrendering to the universe. Opening ourselves up to alignment. Releasing things that don't serve us. One more breath here as we hold in the surrender. And rise on up slowly. We're going to keep our legs wide, but turn our right toes towards the upper left corner of the mat and turn our left toes towards the back upper part of the mat so that our heels are pointed in and our toes are pointed out with wide legs. Inhale deeply as you raise your arms to the sky, lifting your chest. And exhale, bringing those hands to the mat. Forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Opening ourselves up to create space for all the newness to come with the upcoming new moon. Clearing our heads with that energy of Gemini. And surrendering that release that is the last quarter moon. One more breath in here, wide-legged forward fold. And then inhale, rise on up. Keep your left foot where it is and turn those right toes so that our right heel is towards the upper right corner of the mat and our toes are pointed towards the back left side of the mat. Left toes turn towards the back part of our mat now as we bend into that left knee now. Left arm forward, right arm back. Warrior Two on the other side, facing the back of the mat. Still keeping our hips and chest open towards that left side wall. Just facing the other way to do the other side now. Still in that in-between, that half moon phase, that interim point. One more breath here. And then bring your hands back to the base of your spine. Now do your best to try and change the crossing of your thumbs from the opposite way you had it before. And then inhale, pull those fists towards the floor as you open that chest towards the ceiling. Exhale, come towards the inner part of your left thigh now, keeping your fists behind your back. Humble warrior on the other side. Once again, bowing in surrender and release. Every exhale, creates more space, creates additional release, helps you feel those feelings that Pisces asks you to feel. Tune into who you are. One more breath here. On an exhale, bring your hands to frame your left foot. Plant them on the mat. Left foot meets the right. Here in high plank. Shift your weight forward and then bend through those elbows, bringing your chest all the way and belly towards the mat. I'm going to come up, but you may stack your palms on top of one another and rest your forehead on top of your palms in crocodile pose. Maybe you wish to wiggle your hips back and forth to kind of find a little bit of release in that lower spine, in your glutes and your hips. When you're ready, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and keep your forearms long on the mat, pressing those palms down into the mat. And lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat, pulling your chest through. Here in Sphinx pose. A nice heart opener. That open heart of Pisces with that clear head of Gemini. And now to call in the release of the last quarter moon, we're going to take a deep breath in and bring your head to look over your left shoulder. A nice middle back, side body, shoulder, neck stretch. Nice deep release. In the most gentle way possible. One more deep breath in. Exhale, bring your head back to center. Deep breath in. Exhale, look over that right shoulder now. Feeling that release and stretch on the other side. Any tension we release and we allow to melt away allows us to tune more into what we are in alignment with internally. It allows us to recognize what resonates with us and what doesn't. And we can allow the things that don't just to fall away as we allow this tension to fall away too. One more deep breath in. Exhale, come back to center. And then do what I like to call a yogi pancake and just turn yourself over onto your back. Find yourself shoulder blades pulled together back and down. Find where your hips are still in line with your spine and your shoulders. Keep the soles of your feet planted on the mat. Knees towards the ceiling. Once you find yourself lying in what feels right to you, we're going to take a deep breath in. And as we do, we're going to lift our arms overhead behind us as we lift our hips towards the sky. So deep breath in, arms up, lifting up those hips. Exhale, lower those arms back towards the mat as you drop those hips back towards the earth. 3 more times like that. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Now we're going to take our right ankle and cross it on top of our left thigh, bringing our right knee out towards the right side. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to bring our left knee towards the sky. And now maybe you want to take your hands and grab the back of your left thigh. Maybe you want to bend into that left knee and grab the top part of your left shin. With every exhale, try to pull that left leg towards your chest, using your right elbow to keep that right thigh open. Figure 4 twist, or figure 4 on your back, reclined figure 4, reclined pigeon. Once again, deep hip release, deep hip opening. To do that final emotional release that Pisces asks of us, the final release of this last quarter moon. One more breath here, figure 4. When you exhale, bring that left shin parallel to the ceiling once again and keep your right leg where it is. We're going to bring our entire leg formation here in this figure 4 all over towards the left side of the mat, planting that right sole of your foot on the floor as you bring the outer left part of your leg to the floor. Keep that right shoulder towards the right side of the mat on the floor, maybe even opening up through that right arm to encourage the right shoulder to stay down. In this reclined twist variation, this figure 4 reclined twist. Twists release stagnant energy. They release things that don't serve our bodies. So not only did we just release through the right hip, now we're going to fully eliminate it and wring it out of our bodies here in this reclined twist. Really calling into this practice, that removal of things that aren't in alignment with us, things that don't serve us, things that are not for our highest good. One more deep breath in. Exhale as you unravel those legs. Bring the soles of your feet back to the mat in front of you. Pull those shoulder blades back down again, back and down. Once again, find yourself in alignment as you recline for just a moment. Now we're going to do that figure 4 and then twist on the other side. So take a deep breath in. And then exhale as you cross that left ankle on top of your right thigh. Inhale deep. And exhale as you lift your right shin parallel to the ceiling now. And again, your options are to grab the back of that right thigh, to bend into that right knee and grab the top of that right shin as you pull that right leg towards your chest, using your left elbow to open up into that left hip now. Reclined pigeon on the other side. Allow yourself to feel anything that comes up, because part of calling in that energy of Pisces is to feel through our feelings. So if tears come, if anger comes, if screams want to come, allow it. This is not a space of judgment. This is a space of release, a space of alignment, attunement. You're safe here. Do what feels right. Do what you feel like you need to do. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring that right shin parallel to the ceiling once again. Keeping this leg formation, bring
the whole side of your body towards the right side of the mat now, planting the sole of that left foot on the floor on the right side of your mat and the outer right part of your right leg. Opening through that left arm now to keep that left shoulder down. Reclined figure four twist on the other side. Wringing out the body, releasing any stagnant energy, any limiting elements that are holding us back. And allowing our bodies, minds, and emotions to serve us and our highest good. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, this time bring the sole of your right foot down to the bottom of the mat, followed by the sole of the left foot. You can rest your hands wherever feels right, but bring those shoulder blades back and down if they started to crawl up. Arrive in your space. If you feel safe and comfortable to do so, you may close your eyes even. But find yourself in a comfortable position as I guide you through the meditation for this last quarter moon. Allow your body to rest in stillness. Take slow, deep, gentle breaths. And with every exhale, release effort and tension held in your body. With each release, rest deeper in the stillness. Become the stillness and allow your body to fully rest. Bring your full attention to your speech. Even as your outer voice is silent, be aware of the noise you experience from the outer world, the news, social media, voices of strangers, colleagues, friends, family, and loved ones. Be aware of the noise of conflict, discussions, arguments. Be aware of it and take deep and gentle, full inhale. Each time you breathe out, let it go. Breathe it out. Be aware of the noise and breathe it out. Feel the silence in yourself and rest here. Listen to the silence. Feel the silence. Rest in the silence. There is a deep sense of peace in silence. Rest here. Bring your attention to your heart. Whatever blockages or pain, whatever sense of darkness, conflict, confusion, anxiety, disconnection, be aware of it. Bring the light of awareness into the experience of darkness. Breathe deep and nourishing breaths into your heart, and as you release each breath, feel your heart opening more and more. With each inhalation, bring nourishment into your heart. With each exhalation, feel supported to open and to rest in openness. Rest in the sacred space of your heart, the mother space, the source. Gradually focus on a personal struggle or challenge where you feel efforts of your body
your speech, and your heart are draining and exhausting you. Whatever you're personally being affected by at this moment in your life, be aware of that. It is happening. And recognize what is happening. Recognize this noise in your body, a sense of restlessness, agitation, disconnectedness, constantly feeling like you need to do something or feeling powerless to do anything. Be aware of that. Recognize the noise of your own inner speech, arguing, self-criticizing, pointing out what's wrong with yourself. Recognize your mind expecting, the noise of wanting things to be different, not connecting with who you are, not connecting with what you have, always looking at what is missing, and engaging with those thoughts and emotions is inner noise. Be aware of this inner noise. Be aware and let it go. Recognize and bring the light of awareness to this noise and let it go. Release it and rest. Feel the silence. Feel the silence in your body. Feel the silence in your speech. Feel the silence in your heart. Rest in the openness of the silence. Rest in the peacefulness of the silence. Rest in the liveliness of the silence. In the silence there is fullness. If you have been fearful, uncertain, and worried, in the silence there is confidence. If you have felt lack, in the silence there is completeness. If you have felt sorrow, in the silence there is joy. In the fullness of the silence there is nourishment and strength. As you're connected to inner silence, you're able to feel and see the light and presence of the higher qualities and are able to share these qualities with others. This is the power of the fullness of silence. Rest and continue to allow your inner confidence to arise. Be aware of that confidence and rest. Now, we're going to slowly bring our awareness back to our spaces. We're going to introduce some gentle movement once again, turning your elbows and wrists, your ankles and knees. Maybe you've done enough stretching and you wish to give yourself a full body hug. Or maybe you wish to take a nice, long, open, full body stretch. Do what calls to you. And then as you're ready, turn to one side and gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. If your eyelids were closed or had a soft gaze, gently flutter them and allow your vision to take you back into the space of your room, here with me once again. I hope you were able to find some deep release today. Connect to yourself. Find that confidence in stillness. It is always my honor to have you join me in practice and share in this space and this community of Yoga by the Moon here with me. I can't wait to do the new moon in Gemini practice with you. That will be a fun one as well. But in the meantime, Thank you so much for joining me today, and from my heart to yours.